Swift as the wind, silent as the forest, fierce as fire, immovable as a mountain. These are the words that guided one of Japan's most formidable warlords, Takeda Shingen. Konnichiwa. Welcome to the story of a tiger of Kai. I'm Mitsuaki, your guide to Japan. Today, we'll be looking at the life of Takeda Shingen, a daimyo who commanded fear even from the most powerful samurai of his time. In the heart of Japan's mountainous Kai province, during the chaos of the Sengoku period, a child was born who would one day be known as the Tiger of Kai. He was known as Taro in his childhood. He later changed his name to Harunobu and then to Shingen. Throughout this video, we use the name Shingen, which is the one best remembered in history. The Takeda clan was a branch of the prestigious Seiwa Genji line that is descended from Emperor Seiwa. Around the time Shingen was born, his father Nobutora defeated the rival warlords and unified the Kai province, which is now known as Yamanashi Prefecture. Shingen was the eldest son of Nobutora. From the moment he could walk, Shingen was groomed for leadership, trained in swordsmanship, strategy, and the Confucian ideals of righteous rule. At just 21, he shocked the region by overthrowing his own father, Nobutora. In 1541, Nobutora visited the neighboring Suruga province on what appeared to be a routine diplomatic mission. The coup occurred when Nobutora arrived at Kai-Suruga border during his return journey. Shingen suddenly ordered his troops to close the border to prevent his father from entering Kai province. Nobutora was expelled by his own son. It was a bloodless coup, no swords drawn, no castles stormed, just a calculated shift of power. Shingen assumed control of the clan without bloodshed. But why did Shingen expel his own father? Firstly, Shingen's relationship with his father had been strained. Nobutora favored Shingen's younger brother, Nobushige, and even considered disinheriting Shingen. This may have fueled Shingen's urgency to act. While Shingen was independent-minded and often became at odds with his father, Nobushige was seen as more agreeable and loyal to his father's vision. Secondly, Nobutora had long been a controversial and often unpopular leader, even among his retainers, stemming from a mix of authoritarian leadership and a reputation for cruelty. The coup was not only bold, but also politically savvy. By avoiding violence, Shingen preserved the clan's internal stability and avoided alienating powerful allies. It also demonstrated his early talent for strategy, not just on the battlefield, but in the delicate game of Sengoku-era power politics. After seizing power, Shingen marched into Shinano province, present-day Nagano prefecture. Shinano had fertile farmlands, river systems, and trade routes that could enrich the Takeda's domain. By expanding into Shinano, Shingen could reward his retainers with new lands, ensuring their loyalty and strengthening the internal cohesion of the Takeda clan. One after another, Shingen defeated the local warlords in Shinano. Shingen's conquest of Shinano seemed to be only a matter of time. But here, a powerful enemy suddenly appeared. Shingen's aggressive expansion into Shinano brought him dangerously close to Echigo, Uesugi Kenshin's domain. Local lords in Shinano, who were displaced by Shingen's campaigns, fled to Kenshin for protection. Kenshin, seeing Shingen's rise as a threat to regional balance, and perhaps to his own prestige, chose to intervene. To cope with the threat from Uesugi Kenshin, Shingen employed diplomatic strategies. Shingen's political savvy was manifested in the three-way alliance with the neighboring Imagawa and Hojo clans, known as Kososun Tripartite Alliance, formed in 1554. These three powerful clans had previously clashed over territorial disputes, but with growing threats from other warlords like Oda Nobunaga in the west and Uesugi Kenshin in the north, Shingen realized that peace with Hojo and Imagawa would allow him to pursue his ambitions without worrying about attacks from the neighbors. The alliance was cemented through strategic marriages, with each party marrying their daughters to the sons of their alliance partners. The rivalry between Shingen and Kenshin culminated in the battles of Kawanakajima in the northern Shinano province. The Kawanakajima plain, where they famously clashed 5 times, was a critical corridor between Kai and Echigo. Whoever controlled the plain could dominate central Japan. Neither warlord could afford to let the other hold it uncontested. The rivalry became almost mythic, the dragon of Echigo versus the tiger of Kai, each seeing the other as a worthy adversary. The fourth battle of Kawanakajima, fought in September 1561, was the most intense and iconic clash between Takeda Shingen and Uesugi Kenshin. One of the most dramatic moments, possibly apocryphal but widely recounted, was when Kenshin personally charged into Shingen's command tent, striking at him with a sword. Shingen, caught off guard, is said to have deflected the blows with his iron war fan until his returners intervened. The aftermath of the battle was devastating, with the Takeda losing over 4,000 men and Uesugi over 3,000. Despite the carnage, the outcome was inconclusive. Both sides withdrew, claiming partial victories, and the strategic balance remained unchanged. While Shingen was fighting at Kawanakajima, he received a startling news: the Battle of Okehazama. Oda Nobunaga, who was at the time a lesser-known daimyo, ambushed and killed Imagawa Yoshimoto, the powerful leader of the Imagawa clan. This made the Imagawa clan weakened and politically vulnerable. With the Imagawa in decline, Shingen saw an opportunity. In 1568, he broke the alliance by invading Suruga province, Imagawa's territory. This was a bold move, especially considering Shingen's eldest son, Yoshinobu, married an Imagawa daughter. But Shingen prioritized strategic expansion over old loyalties. Yoshinobu vehemently opposed. Betraying his wife was the last thing he would ever do. In response, Shingen imprisoned Yoshinobu in a temple and finally forced him to commit suicide. This is considered one of the most tragic father-son conflicts of the Sengoku period. The situation surrounding Shingen entered a new phase. In 1572, the 15th shogun Ashikaga Yoshiaki, seeking to reclaim power usurped by Oda Nobunaga, called on Shingen to march on Kyoto and challenge Nobunaga's dominance. Shingen agreed, launching a campaign that brought him into direct conflict with Tokugawa Ieyasu, Nobunaga's key ally, who would later establish the Tokugawa shogunate. This led to the Battle of Mikatagahara in early 1573, where Shingen decisively defeated Tokugawa forces. This was one of the few battles in Ieyasu's life that could truly be described as a complete defeat. Now that he defeated Ieyasu, the direct clash between Shingen and Nobunaga seemed inevitable. Shingen marched westwards to challenge Nobunaga. But fate intervened. Shingen died in 1573, likely from illness, just as he was poised to strike deeper into Oda Tokugawa territory. His death was a massive relief to Nobunaga, who later referred to Shingen as the only general who could have halted his rise. His final wish: keep his death hidden and let the Takeda army march as if nothing changed. His son Katsuyori carried on the banner, but the absence of the tiger was deeply felt. He lacked the charisma and leadership of his father and eventually led to the demise of the Takeda clan, but that will be a topic of a future video. Even his enemy Tokugawa Ieyasu once admitted, "Of all the warriors I faced, I feared Takeda Shingen the most." Shingen is still beloved by the locals. His life is recounted. Takeda Shingen lives on, not only as a warlord, but as a legend. Thank you for watching. ありがとうございました。さようなら。